All right, we're back. We're back because of a big wind gust that knocked out all of our video and some of our audio. And so we're back. We're back with Jake Edwards. And Tony was having his Oprah moment. Beer was
every
spilled.
Fucking way, dude.
Yeah, so here we go. Start it off again, Tony.
No, what I was getting ready to say is you helped me realize the whole unity and community bit. I would say probably for the last 10 years, I thought that this shit was over. As far as our brothers and sisters, why you look it up? I thought it was going to happen.
I did. So he's on standby. Hey, it's like targets.
Yeah, I was like,
standby, grab hold, get the dog targets up. All dog targets up here.
This is bad. Look, no, man.
Get the dog targets up, dog targets up. Hey, no impact, no idea. No impact, no idea.
Any alibis? No, man, I just wanted to tell you thank you, man. Everybody that we brought up here, everybody that we talked to, you can sense that sense of reverence in them. They're very thankful, man. We had quite a few people like get emotional, which I think is huge, and it shows that we really do still need each other. We still need to be in the fight with one another because there's a battle that's going on off the battlefield and for a lot of us inside of our head. So I wanted to tell you thank you.
Hey, brother, thank you. Yeah. That means a lot. And the reason why it means a lot to me is because I've known you for a while now, but it's our first time face to face where we can have this conversation. Because the digital and virtual conversation is important. That's how I know a lot of y'all. I just met Scott, the founder of Reunite to Fight, yesterday. I've been working with him for 3 years now. But the face-to-face gatherings and interactions is where the real energy is felt.
Yeah.
Because we don't feel it digitally, but yet we push our kids and our next generation to live that world and put the technology in their face. But yet we forget that the best connections and the best environment of our gatherings and reunions is face-to-face. That's where we feel the most harmony and the most like we're actually getting some impact out of it.
No, definitely.
I met Pedro like a month ago.
Yeah.
And guess what, Tony? I met Pedro before you met Pedro.
I know.
And that was your freaking homie.
I know. And
that's your homie that I met before you.
I know. And
that's why this matters.
And I virtually met him fucking a couple of years ago.
Right.
I met him this morning when he picked me up. And that's the cool thing, man. That's what we have that commonality, dude. We have that fucking first time I seen you, we fucking hugged. Like,
right.
What the fuck, dude?
Right.
Like, we're brothers.
Right.
Yeah. We're brothers. So.
And that's what it's about. Is we take the energy that we work with digitally and bring it face to face. And so what my challenge is to everybody out there is if you have a vision for something, just make it happen. If you feel like it's just a thought, write it down. Share it with somebody else. If it sounds like a dumb thought, that's cool. Sleep on it. PT. Haze yourself, share it back to yourself again and say, you know what, this might be a better thought than I thought it was originally. Because we got a lot of people suffering out there. I got a friend that just joined us today. He flew up from Florida yesterday. His brother killed himself 2 years ago. His brother was not a military member. But my buddy that I'm talking about, guess what? He was one of our best operators 16 years ago on the battlefield for us. He won Operator of the Year for the entire Marine Corps in 2005. He's the one that ran all the D9 bulldozers. He was a team leader for all the D9 bulldozers in the second Battle of Fallujah. The only time we ever used D9s in battle like that. His brother, who had no military service, took his life with 3 kids, took his life for certain reasons. We can't explain why.
Right.
But what's important though, is that we learn that sometimes our emotions can win in that immediate moment. We've all lost friends to suicide, whether it's service members or not. But I do these events back home now for veterans, for community members, for non-military members, because how many of y'all out here today that weren't military saw that shit? They saw the 8th and I friggin' drill team come out and do color guard for us. The commandant approved them to come out for us. because we have connections with Sergeant Major Kent and General Coleman. It takes connections to make that happen, but civilians saw that have never seen that in their whole lives before, and that will change their life for forever, and they'll have a different perspective for themselves, for their neighbors, and for someone that says, hey, I'm a veteran. Mm-hmm. Because back home, we all serve.
Yeah.
Because we all come from the same friggin' cloth.
Yeah. Is suicide, is that kind of the preface behind it for you?
Well, definitely for me, because, I mean, for last summer, my best friend, who was my uncle, who I wear his one of his buddies' KIA bracelets, he was a Green Beret medic in Vietnam, and he took his life last summer. And 50 years prior, post-battlefield, the demon still haunted him. And his wasn't all mental. A lot of it was physical from his Agent Orange.
Yep.
And the reason he shot himself in his heart, he didn't shoot his fucking head out. He shot himself in his heart. To me, he didn't leave a note, nothing. But to me, that meant he was showing me where the pain was here, from the heart disease and the Agent Orange. But the mental part, I know was there, because this guy that I wear his bracelet every day, Stephen Ramos, he was a Ranger. My uncle was he was working crew chief that day on the Hueys. He was holding his arm on the skid pad and holding him up as they extracted, and Ramos fell to his death like 200 feet up in the tree line because my uncle couldn't hold him anymore. And that lived heavily in my uncle's heart. And that's why I still wear this to this day, because the dead live through us. But the important thing about that is the dead don't see us like our kids see us. Our kids are watching everything we do. And what I do full time for work is I work with the next generation, our kids. I teach our kids why they need to learn why sharks are predators, why bears are predators, why lions are predators. And I teach in our schools active shooter training and all those crisis drills for our kids. I teach that stuff full time for work. And the reason why it's important is because monsters have always been present on this earth.
Yeah.
And why our kids say when it's dark at nighttime in our own house, Daddy, why am I scared right now? They say, well, it's dark out. It's dark in my room. I'm scared of monsters. My own kids say it to me, and I tell them, look, monsters are real, but in your home, I protect you from those monsters.
Yep. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
And that's our next generation is why all this matters, because they see everything we do, and if we can give them a little bit of courage and take a little bit of that fear away, then we did our job right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna drink my beer.
No, you're not off the hook that easy.
I'm gonna drink to that too.
Yeah. So
Cheers,
one question that I have been asking everybody that has come through, and you are no different. So, what is some advice you would give to a younger you? So think about all that you've been through, where you're at now. What advice would you give a younger Jake Edwards?
It's a beautiful question, which we all should ask that to everybody. So my nephew, I'll say this first. My nephew is 18 years old. He's a senior in high school. He won third national in rowing 3 years ago as a freshman. I think about him. Like I look at myself as him. What I would tell my younger self is, look, don't ever expect anything from anybody. Have zero expectations from anybody. Zero. But challenge yourself to show up to something that's bigger than that live moment and present moment in life every day. So think about your future self every day. How can I be in the future? Because at some time the future will be the present.
Wow.
So that's it.
I love it, man. I was going to ask you, we've been talking to a lot of guys that have been on the battlefield, and one of the commonalities were how they've been able to kind of get through the trauma that they've experienced. Can you share some of the positive things that you've been able to do, and maybe even some of the negative things that you went through to kind of get through that trauma for some of the veterans that are watching today, so that they can kind of help process and get them through it as well?
Yeah, so we got to remember as veterans is that the one thing we all did, the common denominator for all of us veterans, is we raised our hand for something way bigger than ourselves. And that thing was, we put the ultimate sacrifice was our life. Our life was the thing on the line that was bigger than ourselves. DNA, all of our DNA is, as civilians, veterans, anybody who has a heartbeat, it's in all of our DNA to be warriors. But the military, the training that we go through taps into that DNA and says, hey, I'm about to show you how to be a war fighter. I'm gonna show you how to be a friggin' gun-toting friggin' Marine, sailor, soldier, or airman, or Coast Guard. I'll give y'all some credit too.
Coast
I
Guard
got some great friends that are Coast Guard. And Space Force, y'all can fight them aliens that got like 8 eyes. Okay? I mean, I'm almost seeing 8 eyes with these beers I got right here.
I love it, brother.
But the thing that matters is it's in all of our DNA to fight. That's one thing that's natural for all humans. All our DNA will say primitive fighting makes sense. But what doesn't make sense for us is kindness, is respect, is honor. That's all taught from someone else that experienced it in the past. Yeah. And now they're giving us in the present, in the future, the opportunity to say, hey, the honor is on you now to take that forward for the next generation. So bring your friggin' honor. If you don't, we'll come for you and we'll take you friggin' out.
Those are going to be quoted one day, folks, because y'all heard it here on Leaders Lead the Podcast, the X Factor Safety and X Factor FM. Tony, you got any more questions for Jake? Because I know he's a busy man. He got to go mingle, shake hands, kiss babies, do all that good stuff. So
and take people out.
And take people out.
That's Tony's job. Hey, you got a good jab, Tony?
Yeah, man.
You got a good jab?
I love it, bro.
You got a good jab?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I know you do.
Dude, look, my hairs are sticking up on my arms right now, bro. I'm motivated, man. Again, I just wanted to say thank you. This is amazing, dude. Watching everybody being a part of this has been life-changing. I can say that. You can say that too.
No, yeah, definitely. I could say that. Yeah, definitely. And greatly appreciate the invite, through Tony and meeting you, Jake. It's definitely been a pleasure. First time meeting you and coordinating all of this and figuring out how this was going to happen. It's been a blessing and it's been amazing, dude. So keep up the great work. Where can they find you at? Social media handles and yes. where do they reach you at?
Yeah, because we want more veterans to come next year, man.
Well, I mean, hey, this is a first. Hey guys, so this is the first time that any event I've been part of with the guys I'm connecting with has done a live podcast on site. Tony and Pedro are our guys. So if y'all friggin' follow these guys, if you don't follow these guys, you better, because they're gonna come out again. And we'll be all around the country doing this stuff. But you can find me on, I don't like social media, but I started to learn that I need to respect it. Because one thing I'll tell you why I don't like social media is because most people, more likely than not, they're not the same person they are on social media that they are in person. But this guy that's in front of you right now, me, I've always been the person I am in person. Social media is new for me. So you can find me on LinkedIn at Jacob, quote, Jake Edwards, or you can find me at Lead Tactics on Instagram or Lead Tactics on Facebook. Well, I'm telling you right now, you better bring it, because we ain't playing with bullshit. This is how we grow in life, together, face to face. That's it. I have no time for bullshit, because the DNA is coming for y'all. We will take you out.
I love it. You're going to be on the podcast
October 1, right?
October 1st. Yeah, I'm looking
New
forward
fiscal
to it,
year,
bro.
baby.
Let's do it.
October 1.
He said fiscal
Bring your
year.
freaking money. New fiscal year.
So, again, stay tuned for some more epic guests. We will see y'all here in a little bit.